Looking to be an outbreak today. So if you're in Mississippi, you need to stay very well aware of your surroundings. You need to make sure that you have a plan, an escape route. If you don't need to be where you're at, go to Louisiana. Don't go to Alabama, because this is going to Alabama. But we do have residents trapped in their homes in New Iberia. A tornado struck down there just a little over an hour and some change ago. So unfortunately we are not there right now. Otherwise we would assist. So we are en route to meet these storms and do our best to spot weather and let folks know what's coming at them. So we're crossing the Mississippi here, and that's the name of today's game. Is we're going to be doing our best to keep the public aware. Very bad, Patricia. Very, very bad. Today they've already put out a moderate. We've already seen 2 tornadoes on the ground today. We haven't personally, but the statistics of today have yielded 2 tornadoes. One of them right now as we speak, folks are trapped, and EMS, I'm sure a whole lot of responders from the neighboring towns and the neighboring parishes are en route doing what they can to assist those. So we're too far away. We're over 2.5, 3 hours away from that site, and so we're doing our best just to do what we do best, and that's inform about weather. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump into these storms here, and that's the name of today's task. So hold tight here. I'm getting Facebook brought up. How about that? I put YouTube on before Facebook. I gotta say, YouTube, you guys really incredible amount of support yesterday. Actually we set records for the channel yesterday. Coming up on 3 years of having this channel, and you guys set some lofty records yesterday. So hoping to spread the word the same today. Very, very dangerous situation today. I think that's the most tornado warned storms in my career. Yeah, that's easily the most I've seen in my career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, at one point we had 10. Now it's down to 8. They dropped the 2. So let's just go ahead and go through them here. Collinsville, Meridian Station. We're going to go from northeast down to southwest across the map here. Tornado warned across there. It looks like a lot of these are going to expire. Or excuse me, nope, the top ones aren't. They've reissued 46 minutes. I just had a late scan on my side. 16 minutes on that one. So Collins, Seminary, and Bassfield. You're Hattiesburg, you're under a warning, tornado warning as well. Hattiesburg, that's a large population. But the bulk of this is going to be right through southwestern Mississippi, where basically Lego locks into Louisiana. You're looking Kentland, Tangapaheo, probably butchered that all the heck, Livingston, Hammond, Ponchatoula, Covington. Covington, you're in a severe, but Covington, you might have just treated it as a tornado warning because they're going so fast. All it takes is footage from one chaser into the field office to change it immediately. So let's just treat everything in this situation today tornado warned. Tylertown, you have one coming over you. All these places I'm naming off, you need to be finding shelter or being very aware of what your surroundings are. Our thoughts and prayers to Iberia, New Iberia. Did I get that right? Yeah, New Iberia. There's folks trapped in their houses. A facility, sounds like a facility was hit. Details are still emerging down there. We were too far out of position to make any kind of assistance down there, but we're crossing the Mississippi River and about to engage and make a run on all of these middle cells that are coming up. So it's a dangerous situation today. If you're in Mississippi, far east Louisiana, it's finally leaving you. But if you're in Mississippi, this is going to be a very deadly day. We've already had fatalities on this system coming across. I don't think I've heard anything out of Texas, but I know we did yesterday in Louisiana. Unfortunately, a mother and a child. Well, at this point the mother's still missing, but the child was unfortunately killed, and that's just the worst. So it's worse with anybody, but kids it hits the hardest. So today we want to avoid that as possible, so we're trying to get the word out, spread awareness. So we'll be into these storms here in just a little bit. We chased till about 2:30 a.m. and we got a couple tornadoes in the night, reported them, hoping they avoided people. Didn't hear of anything as of now, but I got to imagine that the amount of sorting out that they're doing throughout the last 48 hours is, I'm sure it's going to take a while to get all the specifics on what's hit where. So we will continue to forge forward in this. Where you guys all at today? I know it's middle of the day, so a lot of people are probably working. Hopefully folks are out of school. We've come across a lot of water from the system, so the flooding is going to be everywhere. So you're going to have high winds, heavy flooding. Okay, so it sounds like we have a radar confirmed tornado. We southwestern Kemper County and east central Mississippi. It's also near Lauderdale County. The impacted places are going to be Nellyburg. You got to get in shelter. Meehan, it's already come over. You can come out of shelter. So Sualena, Sequalina. You have 7 minutes to get in shelter. Yep, got some lightning over here. Martin, you have 12 minutes to get in shelter. Damascus, you have less than 20 minutes to get everything figured out. Prismatic, Dollville, if this tornado stays on the ground, you have 18 minutes to get in your shelter. So Nellyburg, you immediately need to be underground. I know we're not underground out here. Mississippi interior wall may be underground here. I know the bayou does, and there are parts out here that just don't have the ability to go underground. You need to be ready. Bathtubs, closets, interior closets. I can't tell you how many people I've come across in the United States that have survived tornadoes, had the whole house collapse around them. Walls, everything, blowout, incredible, and people walk out without a scratch because they were in the interior closets of the house. Got to be inside. You got to be in the innermost part of the house. The way the winds will act, they'll actually suck the walls out, but a lot of times there'll be pockets to collapse in. And if you're down low, you should be able to find a little, hopefully, if things don't smash you on the way down, you can get in these little shock cocoons, and that's why they tell you to get inside of bathtubs and interior closets. So that's real, and that's right now. All right, so here we are. We're officially in the Mississippi, or over the Mississippi. Alrighty, Mississippi. Yep. Alright, so our game on. We're in the zone. I'm sure it's in the middle of an outbreak. I know it's got to be 16 tornadoes, but I can't imagine by the time this day is done that we won't hit near that. I know so far we have 11 from yesterday, so technically it wasn't an outbreak, but that's a lot. And unfortunately we did have, sounds like potentially 2 fatalities, so trying to keep everybody aware of the weather today, and there's a lot going on. It's a very, very busy day. All right, so now they've added 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 tornado warned storms on the boards. We're en route to Hattiesburg right now. If you guys want to know, we're just crossing Mississippi in Natchez, and we're taking a route along the bottom of Mississippi to excuse me, to Hattiesburg. Way before that, we'll hit all these tornado warned storms here. So. Didn't we have a tornado warned storm right back here? And we sat at a Mexican restaurant. No, that was in Alabama. That was in a college town. That was Tuscaloosa. I just got that. I had a total that felt like Tuscaloosa right there.
I was like, what are you talking about? But when we said that, well, wasn't it a Chinese restaurant?
No. Oh, was it Chinese? It was Chinese.
Yeah.
Where did we have that Mexico? Oh, that was up in South Dakota. On that other tornado warned storm.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking.
God.
I know. So apparently Kurt is back from Italy, or from Qatar, from the World Cup, and because he went live in the stadium, he got banned for 5 days on Facebook. So
that's like the FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA rules apparently. So for those wondering what happened to Kurt in Qatar, he's back in England. It looks like
fine.
He's fine. That crazy bloke.
He's crazy. He got proper banned.
Yeah, he got a proper treatment from the Qatar FIFA Facebook ban rules. Anyways, back to the storm. We're into this. We gotta punch through all this water, and then we'll be able to see some tornadoes. We let this wave go over us last night. At some point, we're humans. We gotta sleep. Gonna be a lot of high water through Mississippi. Oh wow, something big hit that. That would be known as probably a semi or a big truck hit that.
Has that before?
Oh yeah, you're already seeing flooding right there. And that little river, wow, a lot of debris going down it. Okay, so we just crossed over that little bridge right there. Outside of Natchez. What river is that? It's not a big one. It feeds right into the Mississippi. The St. Catherine Creek. Anybody downstream from Natchez down, be aware that if you're near there, you're going to start seeing a lot of water coming through. So, and a lot of debris down that. And I think that's going to be the sentiment. Flooding's the underlying. Tornadoes are bad. Getting shocked by lightning, all that's terrible. But flooding is the biggest taker of lives, especially out here. Because it's sneaky. You're better just to sit in your car for an hour and it will change. It doesn't last for, I mean, in some cases it can, but in a lot of the cases out here, especially in the Midwest, it's crazy. You can find out, oh, 3 people drowned right here, and an hour later it's almost bone dry. And you're like,
Crazy.
how did 3 people just drown right here?
Flash floodings.
And you're like, if they would have just waited an hour, they'd be alive. So, or less, in cases much less. I mean, just in our little neighborhoods in Oklahoma, we could have a foot of water going down the streets, and in 10 minutes, it'd just barely be a trickle. So it's weird like that. Where I'm from in the Northwest, would be there for the better part of a month. So, different terrains, different water tables. Wow, there's just like caves and cliffs right there. We're in Mississippi. More undulating land than we come through here a lot in the dark.
Right.
We do.
That's so weird.
We don't get a lot of Mississippi daytime chasing. It's always nighttime in Dixie. So getting to see some parts of land that normally are just pitch black when we come through.
And it is pitch black.
Pitch black.
There's no lights.
But there's something so neat about this little area of the United States where Louisiana and Mississippi come together. I'm sure those that have grown up down here call it, I've heard people, it's the armpit of America. It can get rather hot and humid, but it's just got so much uniqueness. The Spanish moss on the big trees. Right now it's weather, it's winter, and everything's pretty droopy, so tough to sell you on that right now, but yeah.
So weird.
Not much. I know, I understand. I'm trying to catch this one right here. That one right there, we're okay. That one there, I don't know. These top two. Everything started really boogieing at 41 knots. Earlier it was doing 24 knots. That one's 33. Now we're on the highway. We're gonna make up some time here. Thank you for your patience. So now we're gonna start sizzling into these tornado-warned storms. Audrey, we are on Highway 84 East, US 84 East, heading towards Hattiesburg. So we're looking to cut right underneath the bottom of these tornado-warned storms. So we gotta punch through this wave of water, this linear cell. Okay, let's run through these storms again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornado warned storms on the board that we're heading towards. DeKalb, we're going to start from the top. DeKalb, Meridian Station, you are under tornado warning. Get in your shelters. You have anywhere between 3 to 9 minutes. 13 minutes in DeKalb. Let's run down to the next storm. That is Stonewall, Quitman, Stonewall, Heidelberg. You all are in that tornado polygon. Those towns have, starting with Heidelberg, you have, right now you need to be under shelter. You have literally seconds. Looks like you have 14 minutes to Quitman and 20 minutes to Stonewall. Next storm down. That looks to be a confirmed tornado on the ground. That is, or at least a TVS turning into a tornado. Taylorsville, that's heading right for you. You have, you got to be underground right now or in a shelter. You're getting potentially hit on the southeast side. Jumping over to the next storm, that looks to be another tornado potentially on the ground for Monticello, Silver Creek, Prentice, New Hebron. In that order: Monticello, Silver Creek, Prentice. Prentice is probably going to come right over. Silver Creek right over between you and Prentice. Dropping down to the next storm. Tornado warned in Columbia and Franklinton. Dropping over Hattiesburg. You're still in a polygon. Looks like it's passing by right over you right now. You're tornado warned. And down by the last one, oh, that's it. That one came off the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 on the board right now. We're about to punch right into the top or mid half of this outbreak, and we'll be coming in. Third one looks to be a confirmed, or at least a TVS marker. That's for Heidelberg. Heidelberg, you've got to be underground or in your shelter. It is going to be over you in 5 minutes or less. We'll call it 2.5 minutes because the front edge of it's on the southwest side of Heidelberg. So Heidelberg, Stonewall, and Bachuda, right behind that. Tracks are going right over you guys. TVS marked. I got to imagine. Taylorsville, you got to be in your safe place. Right now, it's going over you. Same for you, Prentice, and Silver Creek. All those in Mississippi. If you're in Mississippi today, you need to just basically just shelter in central Mississippi, knowing these storms are going to be coming over you for the next several hours, one right after another after another. It's going to be just a carousel of deadly weather. So we're going to do our best to bring awareness to those in the south. It's a predominantly tough area to get information spread, so it's a little tougher out here, and we want to do our best to do it. So hold tight. We'll be in this bank of storms here shortly. We're having to play a little catch up today, but we knew that. We knew that going into the late hours. So, I mean, hindsight 2020, I guess we should have just kept on the road and gone to Mississippi, but we weren't going to get in until 4 or 5, and that means we're not waking up till, 10, 11, noon, 1, 2, and we're going to miss it some more. So we made that call. We alerted some small communities, and and then basically just collapsed in our hotel. So that was the move, man. There's a wall. I saw just the elevation. You could see the low-lying ground scraper. A lot of lack of visibility today. on the ground near Whitfield. Okay. So someone in the comments on YouTube said there's a tornado on the ground in Whitfield. That's the one we were already targeting, I believe. Yep. That's the one we're looking to come across. We're not going to be in time of that one, but that was the original system I was targeting. So if you're in Whitfield, stay in shelter. All right, we're en route to this tornado warning storm that is over Prentice. We're going to be following right up behind it here, jumping into this. This is our first tornado warning storm of the day. A little late to the show today, but better late than never. We made our late run last night, keeping the public informed till the wee hours of the AM, costing us the early morning run out here. So luckily I understand there's quite a few chasers that made it ahead of the wave, so we will be joining the rest of the fray here momentarily. So we're going for that tornado. Looks like it's got a TVS, and very well looks like it could be a tornado on the ground here in Prentice, Mississippi. You need to be in a shelter immediately, because this is coming over the top of you. So we'll be hooking into this tornado warning storm with a potential tornado on the ground here momentarily. We got to punch through this wall of water. It's probably going to be very difficult to see, and then we start looking for it. If that tornado is on the ground, McGee and Raleigh, you are in path. You have 15 minutes and 22 minutes respectively. That's McGee and Raleigh, Mississippi. Very small towns. New Hebron, that tornado warned, but it looks just as bad. So why don't you guys be other? Flooding. Look at the flooding. Ooh. Dang. It's a lot of water. I'll gladly start rattling off updates. We're this tornado warning storm right in front of us in Prentice, Mississippi. So we have flash flood warnings all around us. All the rivers are flash flood back there. So we're about to hook into this first tornado warning storm here. Once we use that major highway right there, we'll be in 59. That'll be a good road network along all those tornado warning storms. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's go through them again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tornado warning storms on the board, starting from the northeast to the southwest. DeKalb, it's coming. It's been right over you. Meridian Station, it's coming over you. You guys got to be in shelter. Meridian South, we'll go to the south. Tornado warning storm polygon to the southeast of that. Starts Heidelberg, it's already come over you, or it's actually been over you and probably still there, but leaving. So you may probably want to get out of shelter soon. Quitman, it's going to come over you. Stonewall, you got just 3 minutes. Going to the polygon next to that, Big Bay Springs, that looks like it could be a tornado on the ground. You need to be interior wall shelter. Lewin, Montrose, Chunky. Yep, Chunky. You have 16 minutes. Polygon under that looks to be very sparsely between So-So and Taylorsville. Not much coverage there. Columbia, dropping down. Columbia, you have that system right over you. So you need to be sheltering, and then we're coming up on this one in Prentice. So that is the storms on the board. Oh, stop. High water. Slow down, I got it, okay. All right, we got high water, guys. Thank you. see what this car. Well, luckily we got the big SUV. All right, there's your first shot of some flash flood that's come over the highway. Whoa, sorry guys. Bam.
What is something?
That could have been, yeah, at night that would have been brutal. That'd have been brutal. Because you'd be coming across at 70, 80 miles an hour. And, well, I think it's 75 speed limit, so you'd probably be going, you know, I don't know. I hope you aren't going faster in bad conditions, but no matter what, you'd hit that and that'd be trouble. Especially for semis.
Highway speed, yes.
Yeah, highway speeds hitting that much water.
And that's the concept that scares me. Honestly. Okay.
All right, so we got to go through a little bit of flash flooding to get to this tornado warning storm, but we're coming up on it here. So Mount Olive, you're next. You are in the polygon. Prentice, it's right over you, and it looks to be on the ground. So we're gonna hook into this one that looks to be on the ground. I can't get a confirmed report, but I'm just gonna. I would rather be wrong and have people be safe than sit here and dawdle and not want to get in trouble for a false reporting that I'm not there. Because the reality is I'm charging head on into to get there. So, yeah, man, this is a day, a moderate day. You don't forget them. I know we've had damage. We've had, unfortunately, as we speak, we have people that were trapped in New Iberia, Louisiana. Our thoughts and prayers out to the city of New Iberia and those trapped in their homes right now. So, excuse me. That was within deep in my soul sneeze. I want to thank you guys for joining. It means a lot to me, the messages I've gotten, and I apologize for not getting back to them. I pretty much just chased right up until we fall asleep, woke right up and start chasing again. So I got to just see the list of them, and I will get back to them on someday. So I'd rather just do a group thank you right now, just to acknowledge it. But we are in pursuit here on this Prentice tornado warning cell, and we're just going to keep locking into these. We're just going to hook into these. We're going to probably run up all the way to 59 and then take 59 either up towards Tupelo or Tupelo. Sorry, man, I'm struggle bussing it. I'm struggle bussing this one. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Yeah. Oh wow! Look at all that. Look at that. Look at high water.
turns on the radar. Sometimes it mirror images things.
Hattiesburg, you just had another tornado warn on the polygon come over you. So Hattiesburg, you need to still stay sheltered. Hattiesburg's probably been sheltered for the better part of an hour. I don't have any reports of it, but that means it's rotating enough to put a tornado down. And there's that moment of when a tornado first makes suction to the earth, that it's just Russian roulette wherever it's sucking above, you know what I mean, and it comes down. And so that's why you got to stay sheltered, is somewhere it's going to hit. And if you're sitting there waiting to look for it, and you're like, well, I don't see it. And then all of a sudden you're in the house, it gets hit. And what I mean by that is look at the footage from Andover here this last spring. That's a prime example why you just need to be underground, not outside looking for it. Because as you saw in that one, it decided to peel off about 7 houses with virtually 1 second before making itself visually, just bam. So you just go underground, or you get interior walls, closets. Bathrooms. We know about the kids that survived up in Kentucky. They got thrown a half mile from their house, and they survived. I actually went up there and met with the folks. And they were in a bathtub. Put a Bible, blankets, pillows, put the twins inside the bathtub, and they got tossed, but miraculously they were okay. A little bit of scratches and bruises, but overall they were alive and in good health. So that is unfortunately some of the drastic measures you have to take living in these areas. I know.
Yes, Laurel, Mississippi. There's a cell that just went tornado warning coming up out of Hattiesburg right now, and it is pumping, dude. Both of those cells are really strong. Get on them. They can make it happen.
We're heading towards them. Okay. So you heard it right there. Nate said that cell is really predominant more than the rest on the board. So we are en route to that cell. We're gonna first take a peek at this. The first one we're gonna come right across to here. This Prentice cell that's tornado warned. But the one he's talking about in Hattiesburg. Wow, a lot of flooding there. That's a whole couple feet deep waterway next to us. And it didn't look like much until I saw it spilling over there.